studying for O-levels can be quite stressful, right? How do you manage it? Like, do you have any personal stories of how you reduced it or managed it?
Stress was, I think, one thing that I feel a lot of students will do, and I also did, is that I had this preconception that I'm stressed before I was actually stressed. Because you hear people talking about, O levels are so stressful, Singapore academics is super stressful, but you're not actually stressed yet. So don't make yourself stressed when you don't have to be. Like, know that you can still prioritize your own well-being while also making sure that you spend time studying. And what I think was so important for me to reduce stress is, like, a lot of people say it, but it's actually super true, is to have social interaction. Like, talk to your friends that are experiencing the same problems, that are experiencing this like really big amount of stress on their shoulders. Like, talk to them because they understand what you're going through. So when you talk to them, you feel just less alone, and you feel like the task ahead is much less daunting because you're not the only one going through it. There's so many other people that have to go through it, and things just become a lot better, and you can, like, joke about it too with your friends. You can make like anxiety turn into laughter, and it makes things so much better. And I also made sure that I tried to romanticize studying a lot because it made me actually want to study, and made studying and school life a lot less stressful because I didn't view it so much as a chore or a dread. I viewed it more of like a competition and like a battle that you had to win. And it's like some people can find like the joy in like they find the joy in it and how like meticulous they can be. Like if you're planning for a battle, or some people might like war movies and stuff, and then they like the idea of a battle. They have to be strategic about it and make the best and take on the best possible course of action. So I try to view things that way in a much more positive light, because if I don't, then I risk getting burnout, and I risk like facing so much stress that I feel like giving up. And so like sometimes I would reach that point and feel like, this is so stressful, oh my gosh, I just today I promise to myself, today I'll watch TV, tomorrow I promise I'll study. Don't do that to yourself, because that TV day is going to turn into 2 days. And I love Netflix shows and watching movies and everything. That was like my hobby. So I struggled to balance my time efficiently and study while also having that desire to like watch one more episode of a show I'm currently binging or something.
So how do you solve that?
So how I solve that is that the most important quality I've always felt like in life is discipline. And from the start, from right now, you have to force yourself into an environment where it's a lot more study than it is play, because you have to go to that experience much later on before exams where you cannot play, you can only study. And that initially, if I tried to like study 10 hours a day when I was so used to watching like TV more than I was studying, it made me super uncomfortable, and it's like I was super at unease. And so I had to make sure I get slowly accustom myself to an environment of studying, and so that I like every day I like slowly study a bit, like 2 hours a day in the beginning, and then I'd accustom myself to studying a bit more. And I'd also romanticize it by like, I don't know, playing music in the background, putting a candle. It just makes the environment so much nicer. Like I make sure my table's clean and clean and organized so that I can do things, and I can just put myself in that mindset of studying. And that's something that's so hard to achieve, because you need so much self-control and discipline in order to achieve that. So you need to make sure that it's really hard you can either not do it or not do it. And so you have to make sure that you do it, because that is the better choice. Just make the better choice. I know you suffer now for the short term, but you will succeed in the long term. And that's something you have to keep reminding yourself. And one of my favorite quotes that helped me a lot was that he who fears not succeeding sits still. So that's something I experienced, because I was like so afraid that I would not succeed. I just didn't want to touch my stuff. I just wanted to run away from my problems. So like he who fears he won't succeed sat still. So I'd make sure that I don't want to be this person. I want to make sure that all the time I'm doing something and I'm benefiting myself every day, because time is like crucial is like unforgiving. You have to make sure you don't become a victim of time.
Especially O level.
Especially O levels. So trying to balance stress was also knowing that stress will help you. Like the stress of like, not fear of not succeeding will also help you to make sure you get things done, and that you don't have to fear it, but you have to overcome it, because sitting in that fear is more uncomfortable than actually going through it and
doing,
overcoming it.
Yeah.
So I think stress is inevitable in O levels. It really is, and you just have to find the best way to cope with it. And then once you get accustomed with it, it doesn't really feel like stress anymore. It feels like just a mindset and environment that is a bit more challenging, but try to make yourself like challenges a bit more. Challenge yourself. It's good. It benefits you.
So, okay, I'm trying to rearrange the ideas, right? First is romanticize studying. Make it less suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the point of the candle? Is it the light or is the smell? Smell nice.
The smell, or like the whole
Good.
perception of it. It looks nice. It feels like I prepped myself to study. Now I'm going to study.
Yeah, so try and optimize the five senses. Yeah, this is actually so good. Okay, so to romanticize studying and make it less suffering and more joy, less dreadful, you will try and make the five senses as nice as possible. So we have eyes, right? Sight. So make the table clean, that's what you did. And then it looks nice to the sight. Music, so to the ears, the hearing, it will be a pleasant experience. Then what else? The scent, right? For the nose, smelling. You put a scented candle. Then for the taste, you can eat a sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what's the last one? Touch, right? So I guess this is the surface. Like make the surface of like the table nicer. Whatever surface you want. Maybe have a good pen that you like to hold. Yeah. So if you optimize the five senses, you will like the experience more.
It just makes things so much easier, for you to do it that way.
So if you do it that way, it reduces the procrastination. And you said that one of the biggest problems is fear. Right? When you're afraid of not succeeding, the fear makes you procrastinate. And you said he who is afraid of not succeeding sits still. I would like to add, sit still and watches TV. So we escape.
Like you just want a distraction from it. You don't want to think about it. And that's pointless at the time, because it feels like when I put myself in that moments where I'm just like watching TV shows on Netflix, I feel like I'm stopping time for me. But time is still moving on. You can't face time that way. So it's just, you have to come face to face with like, I really have to sacrifice this TV time, this time spending where I just can forget about all my problems and actually face them, because it's so much better when you go to sleep that day knowing that you've actually had a productive day than a day you've wasted. And then like that feeling is so important to achieve.
It is. And it gives you constant anxiety if you don't. So yesterday I experienced this, because yesterday was Tuesday, right? And Tuesday is my lesson. So my lesson schedule is like Tuesday is my first of that new lesson. Friday is a repeat. And then I probably will open up another repeat slots. But Tuesday is the first. So it means that I need to do that 8 hours of all that rehearsing before that Tuesday lesson, right? So for me, Monday and Tuesday, my time management wasn't that good. So I postponed everything. And I barely like made it in time. Like I just finished preparing the lesson like 10 minutes before the lesson actually starts. Okay, but good news is I actually over prepared. So I had prepared for some stuff that I moved to the next lesson. So it means next lesson I got less stuff to do. Yeah, so the whole Monday and Tuesday, that was my feeling, especially the Tuesday. I just constantly had this sense of anxiety the whole time, because I know something was supposed to get done. It hasn't been done yet. So that's how you're going to feel. If you go to bed at night and you procrastinated the whole day, you know that you did lots less than you're supposed to. That's how you feel when you go to sleep. Like when you try to sleep, you won't be able to sleep peacefully.
Yeah. So I think like what's most important is to ensure that you're always moving. You're constantly moving. You're at least doing something, so that at the end of the day, it's still a net benefit.
It's this whole thing about discipline and procrastination, right? Is actually the dilemma of, should I enjoy life versus should I do what's best for myself in the future, right? And here's the thing. If you are those kind of student who, not a student, like many people who are adults also face the same problem, right? And it's just a simple choice you have to make. Like, if you want to just optimize your life for, I want to feel good now, then might as well be a huge baby sucking from a golden bottle and like people just do everything for you.
Yeah.
Like what kind of life is that? It sucks, right? Like imagine that all you did was just you're just here, baby, sucking from a golden bottle and you can watch Netflix your whole life. Like what a boring life it would be for you.
It feels like pointless at the end of the day.
Yeah. So you once people like take themselves to the extreme, like okay, I realize that that's not what I want to optimize for. I realize that I do want to work and do stuff. So then you'll kick yourself out from the procrastination side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a mindset thing. So when you imagine yourself as that big baby, yeah, then you'll be like, okay, this is a stupid mindset to be in.
Yeah, you don't want to see yourself becoming that like person that you feel like you're pathetic. You're not like actually becoming the person that you hope to be.
Yeah. Okay, funny thing about watching TV, right? I used to play this game on my phone. It's this prison simulator. Okay, so you're like a prisoner in the jail, and you can interact with objects. Like you can carry the table, you put it down, you can beat people up in the jail.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So what was a very funny thing in that game, right? Is that you have these stats like strength bar, you have your intelligence, your speed. Okay, and then the intelligence bar, right? Every time you walk in front of a TV and you sit down in the game, you will lose intelligence, and that's such a good comparison to reality.
Yeah.
It's like true, right? I know it's a stupid game, but that was a good lesson that it's trying to teach us. Yeah.
It really reflects between the animation and the real life. You think about it, it's like, oh, it's actually more truth than it seems.
Yeah, I know, right? So if you like that clip, click here to watch another. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click here.